Ebook Timeless Tweets 2000 of May 2021, which contains a commentary on life in over 2000 tweets, is presented as videos in YouTube. This is one such video. Chapter 19. An extremely bad incident needs the attention of government, though isolated it may be. If it does not, political parties or even interested individuals may draw the attention of government to it. But for the public to be thinking of and talking about it all the time, thanks to repeated forwards in the social media, is misleading and menacing and can throw even a good government out of gear for no great reason. The doctor knows what is in your body. The auditor knows what is in your bank account. A friend knows what is in your mind. But it is only the wife who knows what is in the back of your mind. Women enjoy an unintended measure of safety during Corona times. Nobody comes nearer than 6 feet, though in their own interest may be. Awareness leads to concern and, coupled with helplessness, can translate into worry and degenerate into fear/scare. Some, afraid of this, prefer to limit awareness itself to acceptable levels. Though convenient for a short term, this is not desirable in the long run. Corona lockdown days are neither like working days when you go to office, nor like holidays when you have a carefree outing. An object by its presence creates a shade where there was none, but only light. Likewise, free and fearless thought can make inroads into belief. You can doubt a man's belief without suspecting his bona fides. The attitude of every person is primarily dictated by his body chemistry, and subsequently modified to some extent by his upbringing and other attendant circumstances. So, ideally speaking, none can be praised or blamed for what he is. Praise no problem, but blame hurts. God and His benevolence are two entirely different things. You can believe in one and doubt the other. Speaker without audience, writer without readers, and art without art lovers are all out of place or time. Choices are often made based on the belief that majority cannot be wrong. This is because you may not always be equipped with all data or analytical skill necessary to decide what is best. To do what others do is the easy way out, and often may also happen to be the best. You may be genuinely sorry that so many in this world are suffering, day in and day out, or be happy that you are much better off than most of them, by any standard. Not just a question of choice, but a question of attitude that impinges on your philosophy of life. In a sense, even the worst scoundrel is innocent, because he may not realize what he is, or indeed if he does, may not know how to change himself, or maybe does not even know that he must change. At 60, 70, or even 75, you may wonder where your friends are. After that, with advancing age, you start wondering whether your friends are there at all. With all antisocial events, whatever be their magnitude or frequency, social media want to make a kill. They have a kill all right, but along with it, kill also public tranquility and social harmony. The path of God is paved with tiles of doubt. God is the creator of all life, and all the problems associated with it. Because man is nobody really. You can justify killing the mosquito because it hurts, but how to justify the pain involved, and anyway, whose role is that? Vegetarian Congress, they advocate all being vegetarian. Okay, but then, will there be enough food for all? And what happens to the millions and millions of cattle and birds spared from slaughter? Who will feed them and house them? The stark truth is that killing is injustice, no doubt, but looks inevitable. Man cannot solve all problems. Many are in God's domain, it appears. Intense belief, like hardened stain, cannot be erased by logic, however sound that may be. Sometimes scintillating ideas, in the nature of inspiration, that pass through your mind at night, may vanish into thin air at break of dawn. Life is a long runway. You pass through the entry gate just like that. Decades later, you are much nearer the exit gate than entry gate. Now you fumble for the driving manual, namely the scriptures that show the way to live, not the way to leave. But some don't bother even then. With everybody at home, lockdown days are holidays for men, and more working days for women. The destiny of your advice can vary widely. 1. It can be accepted with grace. 2. Accepted silently without acknowledgement. 3. May be feigned to be inaudible. 4. Can be politely declined. 5. Can be rejected abruptly. Or 6. Rejected vehemently, with a resolve to retaliate when possible. One man might should not be another's plight. No complicated theory of life, and no learned philosophy, can be of any solace, amidst shrieks of pain that reverberate in the world all the time, parcels of pleasure notwithstanding. We don't need religion to tell us why we suffer. We should not suffer at all. And this remedy should be available to one and all, and not merely, if at all, to those who can hold their breath, retain or release it in a particular manner, or be adept in similar skills. It is said that God, who gives you miserable moments, will also show you the remedy. Not a compliment. It is like saying, the man who pinches the baby will also rock the cradle. The coronavirus pandemic have prompted some Americans to take a break from social media. The national survey by Ohio State Wexner Medical Center of 2,000 people found that 56% changed their social media habits because of tensions, from WebMD. If your friend or relative has confidence in you, you can play an useful role in his affairs. If that is not the case, you can play only a supportive role, if he is still dear to you. If that also is not well received, you can only play, to put it rudely, a shut-up role. Germ killers are licensed to kill, like security guards. Germs are our born enemies, without any cause for enmity. What a life design! God, for reasons best known to himself, has ordained that all living beings, including humans, should stay put in a mixed media of pleasure and pain, without knowing what for how long, or how it will all end up. In creation, hunger is inbuilt. Food is not. It has to be produced. God has resorted to deficit financing. If only we realize all the dangerous possibilities for trouble, loss, unbearable pain, at every moment of our lives, there can be no room for fun or frolic. In times of accident, we come to know of serious dangers we are living with all along, like a pit near a runaway, recent accident. If only we take pains to ascertain all the dangers we are always living with, like air conditioners in trains, the results can be alarming. Whether adored or assaulted, God is not going to respond. God is not a myth. He is a mystery. He can neither be denied nor located. It is said that a person must keep himself absolutely calm and still, if he wants to listen to God. Maybe his signals are intentionally kept weak. Touching your nose or wiping your mouth is a fundamental right, obviously, but in the name of COVID, the advisories of government infringe on this right. Who is to sue COVID and in which court? Justice may be a good concept, but does not appear to be a favorite in creation. Courts frown at injustice, as if justice is well within the reach of ghosts. This needs close analysis. In business, there is risk and there is thrill. In private employment, the swing on both sides is less. But in government service, there is practically no risk, but plenty of thrill in the form of fringe benefits that include, among others, corruption of sizable magnitude. The lucky can wait for a problem to be solved to feel a sense of relief. A postponement of the problem is good enough for relief for the not so blessed. Sometimes you may have to tell people what they ought to do, which they actually know but do not realize. Google, as a source of knowledge, excels elders. And it is of great help to elders too. Some people will never be thankful for any help you do. God will always send me help, I know, will be their attitude. You have run the errand. That is all. You don't thank the courier for the parcel received except superficially. Do you? An apparently brilliant idea, when executed, can catapult you to immense riches or crash land you in utter penury. May land you in a bed of roses or a sea of despair. A sensible surmise may end up as an intelligent guess, or as a rude shock. Who knows? There is an elephant behind the wall, said a man. How do you know? Asked the other, and this conversation went on. How do you know it is not there? Because there is no sound. Maybe it is sleeping. It is difficult to tackle people with such mentality. Proximity can assuage long-time ill will or accentuate the same as faded. A child does not understand what a boy knows. A boy does not understand what a man knows. The old understand what the young do not. What we do not understand even late in our life, we may perhaps understand in our later life. Thank you for reading.